thank you for coming and joining together to hear us speak, and hopefully you'll be enlightened and also get to know us on a personal and on a more level that's a little bit more in depth with the city and things that are going on. But I'm here, I'm filled with a sense of purpose and vision for Ward 2. Okay, so, and we know in the time that we're in, it demands change. It's going to need new ideas, fresh ideas, new faces. So I'm a committed leader. I'm a mother. Okay, so living here in Lynchburg, I understand how it is to have to work, just meeting daily needs. And there are some disparities and struggles that are here that demand a lot of change right now. Okay, so we can't keep going on with the same things. But I do have a background in business. Also, I am a certified professional life coach. So through my outreach, I am definitely helping, connecting with the community more and more, growing each and every day. So what brought me here to run is that Lynchburg needs to be revived and rebuilt. Right? We need to revive and rebuild Lynchburg, and it's just like looking at a book. You need to know when to turn the chapter and move on to other things. You want to see, you expect other things to happen, you're anticipating. So we're here at this point right now where we have to turn the page. It's demanding change, and we need to move on. Thank you.
And we have Dr. Sterling Wilder, the incumbent.
Again, thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with persons in our community. Just real briefly, my name is Sterling Wilder. I'm from Lynchburg, Virginia. I've been here all my life. I moved away about when I finished college. I got an accounting degree from Virginia State University. I lived in DC for 10 years. I worked at FDIC as an internal auditor, but for those 10 years, I commuted back and forth from Lynchburg to DC. That's so crazy. So, because I had a passion about my mentoring program, working in our church at Nathan Taylor at that time period. So I commuted back and forth for 10 years. After 10 years, it was just too much. So I came back to Lynchburg on a full-time basis, got a master's in counseling because I was working with so many kids with so many challenges, and it needed more of a therapist mindset. So I got a master's at Lynchburg College in counseling, and then I recently got a doctorate from the University of Lynchburg in education leadership. I've served in the school board for 9 years. After serving in the school board, I always seen how I could serve my community. So I wanted to do that, be a voice for kids in our community by serving in the school board. After that, I noticed that once you're at that level, at that table, you want to be at the table of change. It needs to be at the next level, which is city council, because city council controls the purse strings of the budget for Lynchburg City Schools. And I wanted to make sure my voice was not just heard at the school board, but take it to the next level and serve on the school board and on city council. So I've served on the city council for 8 years, and I continue to serve on Ward 2. My challenge is I always want to make sure I'm bettering my community. So I started Jubilee Center 25 plus years ago. We have a gymnasium, we have a career center, we have a STEM center. Again, because I want to see change in my community. I want to be a part of that change. Some people sit back and complain and say, you're not doing this, or this is the problem, or poverty is the problem. What are you doing to solve that? So instead of just sitting back and complaining and not doing anything, I took control and said, how can we change Ward 2? How can we change our community? Not just Ward 2, but the whole community. So we built a community center. We built a STEM center because kids needed more education. Kids need that school tutoring program. So we started that. Kids need activities. So we built a gymnasium. And now the next step, kids are graduating. What's happening next? They couldn't find jobs or jobs that were adequate with good salaries. So we started a STEM center where we can teach them to be nurses aid, PCAs, cybersecurity specialists, and various other careers with high paying jobs, high demanding jobs they can get out of poverty. So I have spent my life over the past 30 plus years and working in the community, mainly working in Ward 2, bringing change to my community. God bless you. Thank you.
And last but not least, Mr. Rodney Hubbard is joining us.
Thank you for having me, Andre. Thank you for having me, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rodney Hubbard. I'm from Ward 2. I was raised and born here. I went to elementary school here. Actually went to nursery school here. Went to middle school here, Lincoln Middle School. Went to EC Glass, graduated. Played on the football team with the 88 champions. And thank you so much. And I moved away, moved to Maryland and started a family. And then I moved back here in about 13 or 14. actually a little bit before that, like 2012. My father owns a gospel radio station here. Some of you may know Fletcher Hubbard, WLLL AM 930. What really encouraged me to run was the state of Ward 2. When I moved away, the crime rate was pretty much down to like 0. The poverty rate in Ward 2 wasn't really an issue, and education was at the top of its tier. E.C. Glass High School was like a small prep school when I graduated. It was like we loved to go to school, and we loved to see our school in the USA Today for top in education, top in sports. We loved to see our name in the newspaper for doing great things. E.C. Glass was high on scholarships. We had a lot of scholarships when I graduated. We had educational scholarships, football scholarships, basketball, gymnastics, you name it, art. We had a lot of scholarships. And so the students that left E.C. Glass went on and became very important people in the nation. For example, my sister graduated from E.C. Glass. Her name was Gwen Hubbard, and she went on to the FBI and ended up being a FBI chief director. One of my other friends, Daryl Jones, he went on to Philadelphia, and he opened up his accounting firm and was very successful. A couple of NFL players, Reuben Brown and his brothers. So the issues that we have here in Lynchburg have just, the tradition has just went away. We were born on tradition. We had traditional values. For an example, if we did wrong in school, right? The teacher, when we were in elementary school, kindergarten, the teacher would say, hey, sit down and be quiet. You don't be quiet, guess where you're going? You're going to the office. So what's at the office? Oh, Mr. McClung, who was my principal. And you know what they used to do to us? We used to have paddles. Okay, we used to have paddles. Okay? And so when you encourage discipline at a very small age, it works in a way that it will help the child, and it helped me as a young man, because I learned how to behave in kindergarten and first grade because I didn't want to get paddled anymore. And that stuff hurt. So we have gotten away from disciplining our children. We've gotten away from very traditional values that we were brought up in here that kept Lynchburg safe, that kept Lynchburg great, that kept Lynchburg thriving. And the reason why people moved here from outer areas is because it was a great place to move. It was a great place to come because there was no crime. Education system was at its best as it ever was. And so now we're at a state now where it's the worst. Education is the worst, poverty is the worst, and crime is the highest. So that's why I'm in the race, to create a different take. Go back to some of our traditional ways so that we can make Lynchburg great again.
All right. So